Welcome back to Oldisleben Farming. In the first part of the series, we introduced you to various springtime activities on this large farm in Thuringia, Germany. Part 2 focuses on forage harvesting in mid-June and introduces the farm and the location in more detail. Our first port of call is an area of organic grassland that is being mown. The front-mounted mower by Kuhn covers the first few hectares. The butterfly mower at the rear was acquired by the farm in the last year. Driver Ronald has proudly worked for the farm for 39 years. Each day, this mower combination, which is almost 9 meters wide, can cover 50 to 60 hectares. The mower is equipped with a conditioner and swathe merger. They can just about manage one cut from this unfertilized farmland each year. If the conditions are just right, they can bale hay once more later in the year. Later in the morning, the harvesting team gets going as well. The vehicles they use for this are nothing short of extraordinary. While the machines are travelling to the field, we'll introduce you to Oldisleben Farming in a little more detail. The history of the farm and how it came into existence in the 60s is closely associated with the restructuring of agriculture, which was largely enforced during the communist era. At its peak, the former Agricultural Producers Cooperative, or LPG for short, farmed up to 5,000 hectares. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, the farm became a cooperative with dozens of owners. The primary goal after that was to stabilize and reorganize the farm. Markus Hertscher has been the owner and managing director of the company since 2016. He sets great store by the tradition and history of the farm. A large amount of documentation, for example about the previous owners of the cooperative, continues to be kept to provide answers about the farm. The farm property spans 5 separate locations with numerous different buildings. In addition to modernizing the farm's fleet, maintaining the various premises is a huge undertaking for the team in Oldisleben and will continue to be so. Markus Hertscher knows his stuff when it comes to livestock farming. After completing an agricultural apprenticeship and studying agricultural engineering for 3 years, he spent a few years working for the largest meat marketer in southern Germany, and most recently ran 3 slaughterhouses. All in all, he has worked in agriculture since 1992. This meant it was a huge priority for him to progress with modernizing the beef rearing facilities as quickly as possible. The first 330 bulls, a Belgian blue crossbreed, moved into the light, well-ventilated cattle sheds in June 2020. The animals have adequate space and are kept on straw bedding. Their manure is mostly used for fertilizing the organic farmland. Since organic farming makes up half of the farm business and mineral fertilizers are not allowed to be used on the organic fields, cattle farming is of critical importance. On the day of filming, weeds were being hoed on the organic maize fields. The farm actually has a row crop cultivator with camera steering. But now and again they bring out their old Schmotzer machine once again. This Valtra Valmet has also done a lot of work in its time. The tractor has already clocked up 24,000 work hours. A good eye is needed to avoid damaging the plants. By moving the steering wheel, the side shift frame can be moved side to side, along with the tools. Farm machinery is not only expensive to buy, but also to maintain. At Oldisleben, the team made the decision to look for alternatives where they can. One interesting example of this is the 500 horsepower Rostelmash RSM 1403. at a purchase price in the region of 180,000 euros, this Russian forage harvester costs around half as much as its well-known competitors in the same performance class. Driver Jens is in control of the harvester. The machines are simply built and have a range of components by well-known Western suppliers. Servicing and any necessary repairs can be carried out in their own workshop, and spare parts, which are shipped from a warehouse in Lower Saxony, are usually on site within 24 hours. Rostelmash is the biggest farm machinery manufacturer in Russia and Eastern Europe. For our Russian adventure documentaries, which are available for streaming on www.farmworld.tv, we had the pleasure of visiting the factory in Rostov-am-Don. Several thousand combines, as well as forage harvesters, come off the production line there each year. This RSM 1403 is 3 years old. This season, the harvester will chop 1,000 hectares of green fodder and maize, as well as another 350 hectares on other farms. All in all, the management team is very happy with the value for money these forage harvesters provide. This year, the organic Lucerne achieved a yield of 10 tons in the first cut. The fields are harvested 2 to 3 times a year, and the crop is rotated after 2 years. Organic wheat is next in the crop rotation for Oldisleben. The Lucerne and grass crops each incorporate 200 hectares of the entire 3,700 hectares of cultivable acreage the company farms in and around Oldisleben. Lucerne has a high resistance to drought and is very good when used for fodder containing raw protein. The deep-rooted plants are known for accumulating nitrogen, which also makes this legume an interesting option for organic crop rotations. These camouflage lorries already made an appearance in the first video. The extremely robust vehicles are known for their use in the military. Whether they are used as a 2-axle tractor, like here at Oldisleben, or as an imposing 4-axle with twin steering at the front, the engine always sits on the box-type chassis behind the cab. Two Case IH Magnums are rolling the silage clamp. The 310 is already 10 years old. We've already met Clemens before in our first video. He is the boss's son and loves to get involved in day-to-day work on the farm when he's not at school. The tractor, with its massive hydraulic maize leveler on the front, weighs over 12 tons. The somewhat more powerful Magnum 335 is a younger model. Ever since 3 tracked tractors took over the heavy arable work, these standard tractors have been brought in for more lightweight tasks. What's more, many of the transportation tasks are now carried out by man lorries. These last few shots bring our second short video on the farming year at Oldisleben Farming in Thuringia to a close. In part 3, we continue our filming during the cereal harvest. You'll find exciting independent documentaries from the world of farming and farm machinery on our on-demand platform at www.farmworld.tv.